So please come to my call. Go to Terry's website at stopgangstalkingcrimes.com, to see a good list of calls to go to. I gotta get gas. I guess I'll go for about 15 more minutes, maybe make another video today when I do get home. I feel like today I made this video because of the Dramamine. I feel a little bit more energetic. I feel bad, I'm still getting tortured. It's just way too long. The V2K chatterbox, is just going on and on. They're recycling things that they say and putting it into that chatterbox, and then, I have nobody to really talk to about it, even though, I have people that love me in my life. My dad did come into town, 2 weeks ago. And, I sat down to lunch with him, and this is all I could talk about. It's all I could talk about. But I feel like when you're talking to your parents, a good idea is to, or talking to your parents, talking to your loved ones, talking to your friends. If you do have to talk about it, talk about the positive stuff that you're doing. Be like, there's this international TI survey. It's 2 NSA whistleblowers, and they're putting together, data, collect it from all the TIs, and then after that, they're going to get together with, people in the medical community, maybe some senators and congressmen. We've got this big campaign where we're going to wear shirts about this, and we're going to hand out flyers, all across the country and the globe. I find that when I talk about those things, my parents kind of, they are more willing to accept that than just telling them one of the truths of this, which is, my attackers are murdering me. They are cooking my body. It really hurts. They're too scared of that. So if you go into the activism stuff and what we're doing, the positive things that we're doing, they can digest that easier, and then maybe you can throw in, this is very dangerous and they're really hurting me bad. Just some ideas that have worked for me, especially when I talk to my mother. I stress on, the activism and kind of what we're doing. There's this guy with a boat who kind of was pulling up on his phone, just right by me, kind of slowing down. I don't know. I really, I get some gang stalking, even when I go out, but I'm getting hit so severely with directed energy. Some mornings I'll just be sitting there, and literally I'll touch the back of my neck, and it's just it's like heated up. And so they're just keeping a beam sometimes, and they hit me in other places too, especially when I'm sleeping. But they'll just have that beam, and it's just on my upper neck the entire time, for hours and hours and hours. And I'll get up, it's good to get up and move around. But with the kind of targeting they have on this directed energy, it's insane. I mean, I've been, tortured for, that I know that it was very bad, and I knew something was going on for about 7 years. But things were going on before that for many years that I realize now. But the severe everyday, high-pitched noise in your ears, directed energy beams on your body, and then the ultimate remote neural manipulation, the steady stream of energy going to your head. And this is the way that they are, injecting imagery or doing synthetic telepathy. But the main way they're doing remote neural manipulation is that steady stream of energy, where they can put impulsive thoughts or whatever into that steady stream of energy, electromagnetic frequency energy. So there's a whole lot of stuff that they're doing to us, guys. It's crazy though. I mean, just sitting there and not, sitting in my condo, trying to survive this, trying to think of ways to make my life productive, because a lot of the times it is just getting through this, playing some video games to get my mind off of it, reading comic books to get my mind off of it, jumping on the talk show calls, and sometimes I'm too tired to talk, and I've got to just listen to other moderators give some good advice. It's very weird. It's bizarre, and I do feel like one of the main things that the oligarchy, the guys higher up, I don't know how they're going to get from here with nobody really the majority of the population not understanding what they're doing, to oh, well, that's Kyle down the street, and they're experimenting on his brain. You know, they're sending signals to his brain and his body, some trauma-based mind control, and you know, hurting his family too. It's a Zerzet song. Yeah, poor guy, but we're all making money from it. You know, they want to get to that point. They want to, at some point, this society, this oligarchy wants to get to this point where it's just a part of our lives. Like, oh, that person, oh yeah, they're in the trauma-based mind control program. They're experimenting on his brain, so we'll get some good technology from it, and we're all, you know, we go and harass them, and it's, you know, no big deal. Some people in society now are kind of in that mindset. They're like, oh yeah, we're harassing that person, but they're probably told lies, you know, that the person's bad, or maybe a terrorist, or maybe crazy. But I feel like the oligarchy is so evil. What we would define maybe as our leadership, but they're not really. They're really a bunch of people who are in control of all the money. They're in control of all the money and the resources in our world up at the top. So they get to call shots. And so they're not really leaders. They're really people who have hijacked our world. But what they really want is they want to do a lot of these. So listen closely, non-TIs. This is why we need y'all to jump in here. If they get away with too much of this stuff, because they are trying to hide this somewhat, they're trying to bring small parts of it, like the DHS fusion centers and harassment, to some of the public, but while keeping the most dark part, the microwave torture, the directed energy weapons, messing with people's minds, they're trying to keep that in the dark. The more they get away with this stuff, the more they're going to be like, oh, we can get away with this stuff. So we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it, and people are just accepting it. They're not stopping us. They're not, you know, protesting. None of the real leadership is getting in our faces about it. So that's why we need to stop this stuff. We have to stop this stuff, because the more they get away with, you know, the more they'll do. And that's what Bill Cooper said. He said, you know, we just need to say no. We have enough people to say no. They are hiding it, so it makes it a lot harder. Even some smart people in society who are very moral, they may have not researched this enough, or it's just too fantastic or too evil for them to believe, and they're just like, that's not true, that's a bunch of crazy people. And then they start speaking out like, oh, look how crazy those people are. You know, I know there is that, that does exist, and those people, if I'm speaking to you, guys, if you're smart and you want this world, if you want good things in this world, and you're not a bad person, and you want to speak out against injustice, please speak out against this. This is happening. To my loved ones, what I tell them is, this is really happening. It's the simplest I can say it. This is not a fabrication of these target individuals' minds. Now, there are people with pre-existing conditions. They maybe had schizophrenia before, or, you know, I don't know, they may have had a lot of disorders before, and they do hit those people on purpose, so that maybe their perceptions of what's going on are just way out there, and then it makes all of us look like, you know, we're all delusional, that this isn't happening to us. So that does exist, but this is a reality. This is a reality, because I've been going through it for, you know, 7 of the hardcore torture years, and more before this. This is a Zerzetsum program. You know, people are trying to put this together. They're making a ton of money off of it. Not necessarily because, you know, just off of me, but on the whole program, and doing this to a bunch of target individuals, playing around with, you know, aircraft and, you know, the DHS Fusion Center workers, so they can, you know, practice with the surveillance system. And then in the Chewy Center, they're, you know, practicing with the directed energy weapons to see, you know, who it does what for. You know, what kind of protocol will that person's body and mind, what can we do really good to them? What can we really do good to this person? So they're doing a lot of experimentation on what type of person is, you know, certain aspects of this works better on. Like, you know, like me, I haven't gotten a lot of hallucinations or holographic images. You know, one time I saw like a light in the corner of my left eye, and I knew that they were messing around my visual cortex. A lot of other TIs do experience like full-on hallucinations from electromagnetic stimulation of their brain. You know, and maybe other methods that I'm not aware of. You know, so on me, that didn't work to, you know, that great, but they're doing it to a lot of other TIs. Me, they do V2K on, which is voice to skull. Some other TIs do not get the full-blown audio V2K like I get, and it may be because it just doesn't work that great on them. Their brain is some sort of way where it just doesn't take the right way, or because it's just not in the protocol, you know. So they're doing a lot of different things to a lot of different TIs. It does make this a lot more confusing. This is a complicated issue, you know. This is a complicated situation, so it makes it, you know, it makes it confusing. Some people are just getting gang stalking, or they think they're just getting the physical gang stalking. So I've heard actual TIs who were getting the gang stalking and either were not getting the directed energy weapons or didn't know. I have a theory they just didn't know that they were getting the directed energy weapon, electronic intrusion. But they thought the people talking about the directed energy weapon attacks were trying to discredit them because they were getting the visible gang stalking, the physical gang stalking of, you know, vehicular stalking, break-ins. You know, I don't know. Like, I mean, I think I would be making videos even if I just got that stuff and didn't know about the electronic intrusion. But the electronic intrusion, the torture and the murder with these directed energy weapons is so horrible that the gang stalking seems kind of small to me. Now, I'm not trying to downplay anybody's suffering. Somebody who's getting, you know, the gang stalking and it's really, they're getting break-ins and maybe poisoning their food. That's horrible. That's like really horrible. It's a horrible way to live your life, and it needs to be stopped. But you know, I think that if I went back to just gang stalking and they weren't breaking into my home and it was just vehicular stalking and people kind of doing weird stuff at the Walmart or where I went, you know, I'd be very, very thankful at this point, you know, experiencing the directed energy weapons and stuff. And this isn't saying anybody, any people who think that they're just getting the physical gang stalking are weak people or anything like this. These people are very strong. They're getting through something. They're getting through something very dangerous and very evil. But I just want to kind of tell y'all that's my truth. If I could go back to, well, I don't think it was ever just that with me. But if I could, you know, go to that instead of this, I would thank God, and I probably wouldn't. It'd be, you know, this is so horrible that I probably, I don't know if I, you know, I guess I'd still talk about it. But it would be nice. I'm just trying to kind of, you know, say, I'm trying to convey how awful and painful the directed energy weapon attacks are. And I'm kind of veering off the topic a lot. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this little 30-minute segment. I'll probably do another 30-minute segment today sometime. Maybe getting some vehicular stalking, because I've been out for a while, so they may be running some cars my way. There is a pest control right there. I've seen a couple of them this morning. They like that message to give me, I don't know if y'all are seeing it. There it is right there. They like sending pest control out around me to say like I'm a pest and they're going to exterminate me. But I hope this was good. I hope it helped y'all. Please check out stopgangstalkingcrimes.com. And please come to my call. You know, come with your ideas. You're more than welcome to talk to the group, and we'll respect your views. I'll definitely respect your views. You know, we need some more energy in there and some different ideas. You know, we're trying to come up with ways to do activism. Everybody do the international TI survey. Please, everybody do that, and you know, start working on thinking of ways to get the word out in your community. I'm gonna start working here. I'm gonna continue. I think that's what we're all gonna do. I love you guys. I hope y'all are doing well. If you are feeling really low on energy, please try Adrenamin. It's not that expensive. Go online. I don't know if you can order it straight from Standard Process Labs, but a lot of places just put it on Google, and you can find a lot of internet shops that will deliver Adrenamin to you. And it uses a bovine adrenaline supplement. It's really helped me. It's really given me a lot of energy. And I also need to shave. Alright guys, let's keep going. I'm at 30 minutes and 10 seconds, so I'm not going to get all this in.